everybody. If I die in a fire car crash from texting and driving, I would like you all to watch this video and say nice things about me at my funeral. Okay, so this is your dental machine. On the very back here, it says everything you need to know. So it is not difficult. So let's start at the top. Handpiece maintenance. Oil smaller of the two larger holes. And here's a picture. You guys see that? Here's a picture. So the number one reason high-speed handpieces go bad is lack of oil. And this thing, when you call me and tell me it died, is $1,200. So don't call me and tell me it died. So we unscrew it. We unscrew it here. Okay. Oil does not go in here. No oil. Oil goes in here.
Oh, I would have put it in there.
So we turn it upside down. See all these holes? Smaller of the bigger holes. 3 drops of oil. Drop, drop, drop. I don't know. You guys can do it. Then we put it back on. Correctly. And then you want to run this for probably like 3 to 4 seconds. If you oil this at the end of the day and you hang it up, it does nothing. Oil does nothing. The point is to get it in the turbine. This high-speed handpiece has to be oiled between every single dental and or at every hour of use. So if you have a 3-hour dental, you need to oil it 3 times. Okay? Very important. Then your low-speed handpiece, aka your polisher, it has to be oiled every day that it's used. So only once a day. Again, unscrew. Do not put the oil in here. Put the oil in here. Smaller of the big holes. 3 drops. Drop, drop, drop. If it's the end of the day, run it. 3 to 5 seconds. Don't just hang it back up. Because again, the oil has to go inside. So those are that's the most important thing. Next, on our list here is the PSI for the handpieces. It says it right here. So if you guys are doing a drill or a prophy and you have no power, the first thing to check is this pressure gauge right here. This pressure gauge right here. So it even says on the back what they should be at. This never needs adjusting, so you don't have to worry about it. But what happens is when people clean, it could get bumped. So under here, let me show you, Dr. Holto. Do you see these silver knobs? There's silver knobs under here. These adjust the pressure. So let's say somebody was cleaning and they accidentally bumped it, and all of a sudden your polisher, are we plugged in?
No.
Okay. I'm going to plug this in. Perfect. So let's say, where's my foot pedal? It's up there. Oh. So all of a sudden I have no power. You can see it's at 40. Let's say it sounds like this. I have no power. Oh, it's at 20. So you just crank her back up to 40. Okay, so we're going to check both. This LS, low speed, HS, high speed. Switch it to high speed. Now we're using our drill. See, it's not even quite at 40. I'm going to crank her up to 40. There. Now we're at 40. The water, this is your water. If you have too much or not enough water coming out of your drill, you can adjust it here. This, coolant, I don't know why they use the word coolant, it means water. If this is off, no water is going to come out of anything. So coolant has to be on. This is water, CLS. CLS is the chlorhexidine solution. Water. A lot of times what you might want to do is hit CLS, mist the mouth down, get the bacteria down, do your dental. At the very end, go back to CLS, mist the mouth again. You do not have to run CLS all the time. Then, let me turn this off so they can hear me. The only other maintenance is it says on the back here, this is an oil-free compressor. There is no oil in here. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, we're going to open this drain. We're going to put a piece of paper towel here, We're gonna open the drain, it's gonna be really loud. So don't do it while you've got anybody under anesthesia. And right now it's only air. What happens is water condenses in here and it'll rust your tank. So if you don't blow the moisture out every few weeks, your tank will rust out. So every few weeks, take a paper towel, blow it out until it's dry. At first it'll be rusty colored water and it'll go dry within a few seconds. If you forget to do it for 8 months, get a bowl because it's gonna be a lot hotter. These are your bottles. They are pressurized because it says coolant on. If you need to add water, you're going to turn coolant off to depressurize them or you're never going to get them on and off. Also, do not over tighten these because when they pressurize, they will expand. If you crank the sucker down and then you pressurize it, you'll never get it off. So hand tight only. Then when it pressurizes, it'll get nice and tight. If I crank the sucker on as tight as I can and then I pressurize it, it's gonna be a mess. This is distilled water only. This is 1 bottle of CLS, which will go to about here, filled with distilled water only. On the back of our machine here, we have the high-speed maintenance, 2 drops with it. Well, this says every 30 minutes of use. With our burrs, always make sure that our burrs are seated in nicely. I will go over that with everybody. And then air compressor just says drain water from tank. That's what we just discussed. And then annually, we're going to change these filters. I can come in and do it. It's super easy.
What is this for, this bottle?
So a lot of bacteria goes out into the air, and it has some kind of internal component that the saliva and the bacteria, somehow it sucks it into here. So after about a year, there's like grossness in the air. It will do nothing for like a year.
Okay.
After a year, you'll be like, oh, that's like gnarly. So, so troubleshooting. I have no water. Are you plugged in? Are you turned on? Is your coolant on? Is your water gauge on? If you're scaling, you have a different water gauge back here. Is this water gauge on? Is your scaler turned on? Also, when you're scaling, these lights, these 3 lights, this is how strong my scaler is. My scaler is now very strong. It's at 5. This is big dogs. This is really bad teeth. 1, I'm a little kitten. I'm a little tiny puppy. I don't want a lot of heat. Most everything's good at 3, mid 3, 4. But if you're doing a giant dog or a tiny dog, you might want to turn it. I've mentioned this because people bump it on accident. And what if you bumped it to a 1 on accident and you're doing like a Great Dane? You don't have a whole lot of power there. As you know, with scalers, you don't want to create a lot of heat on the tooth. It'll damage the tooth. So we want to use as little power as we can, but still be very effective and get off the tooth as quickly as possible. Your air water syringe, this is autoclavable. Take this off, you can autoclave this. Clean, take rubbing alcohol or whatever, and a cotton tip applicator. Clean around these buttons because prophy paste gets in there, and then here in about 6 months, they won't pop up and down nicely. They'll get stuck down. So we just want to keep the prophy paste clean from around here. This little section here is magnetic. Do you know that? Your burrs system? Give me burrs. Oh, a burr.
Did not know that. I didn't know this. Was this on my old machine?
Yeah.
Because I had no idea about that.
So let's look here. That's magnetic. That's where our burrs go. They don't fall on the ground. There's a little thing here. Burrs go there. When you are putting a burr in here, if you don't seat it correctly, you'll ruin your turbine. This turbine is like $400. So what we do is we push the center of the button. We can use that too. We seat it in there. It's going to push in once. Then it's going to push in again. You have to feel it push in twice or it's not seated. This little hat, I call it, is very helpful if you prefer, depending on the size of your thumbs. It kind of helps you. But make sure it seats once, it seats twice. If a burr is loose or it's not getting oil, you'll ruin your turbine and this drill will go bad. Burrs are not expensive. Hand pieces are. If your doctor ever tells you not to order new burrs, you order them anyway. Lots of burrs all the time will keep your handpiece lasting a long time because this handpiece is very, very, very expensive. If you do not have tank pressure in your tank, that gauge is down here, then you need to call me or call IM3, something got bumped. You never have to touch this stuff down here. But if you turn your tank on and it's not pressurizing, either your drain has been left open or there's a problem and you need to call somebody.
That's awesome.
There's a wear guide for your
I have
scalar
that.
tips, so you guys can know when your scalar tip needs replaced. 25% reduction in length. It's a 75% reduction in power.